And I think Baroness Hayter started off by saying unconventional times require unconventional measures, and I couldn't disagree more. I think in unconventional times you need conventional measures to keep your bearings and know where you are. Otherwise, if you're not careful, you descend into chaos. Not many days ago we had a debate in this chamber revolving around statutory instruments dealt with by Lord True. And he made the point again and again, and I make it again, that we must always draw a huge difference between the great issues which we want to discuss, the things that divide us and we get very worked up about, and the framework within which we discuss them. And today what we're doing is we're destroying the framework. And if we do that, there's a danger of descending into chaos. And some may say, some outside this chamber may say, the people of this country are starting to say, it is chaos that we between us have created. My Lords, this is a momentous decision, and it does need time. It seems to be generally accepted out in the country that we will rubber stamp it, or take a little while today, but then it will go through. The media are treating it in that way. But we cannot be seen as a pushover. We cannot be seen as a rubber stamp, a mere formality. Otherwise, as has been said by lots of people, we actually have no justification to continue to exist. In days gone by, quite a while ago, I remember them when I was a member of the House of Commons, time used to be the opposition's main and legitimate weapon. Yes, it meant that things were sometimes strung out, but it also ensured scrutiny without time limit. And that meant proper scrutiny in real depth. You didn't make those degrees, the same degrees of mistakes. And then what happened in those days, in order to cut the debate short, which is rare, you had a thing called a guillotine. And then, over the years, guillotine became programming, which is now a modern word for the guillotine. And the House of Commons now guillotines things routinely, with the result that we get down the corridor, like a sausage machine, half-thought-through legislation, which we have to deal with by the ton, by the bucket load. And this is just a part, I think, of the same thing. Surely we must maintain our right to correct, if need be, or to look at carefully what they do, and if need be, always ask them to think again. This abuse itself, this bill itself, is an abuse of the parliamentary system. My Lord, to ram it through again in one day like this would be to compound that abuse. The truth is, it's all part of the plot to stop us leaving the European Union. I'm not afraid to mention that, because it's true. Lord Billamore just intervened on somebody in the debate, but he spends night and day now working all the time to stop us leaving the EU. That's not... It's very hard. I find it very hard in this chamber to take remarks from people when I know what their motives are. There's been a huge amount of dishonesty over the last 2.5 years, not least from the gentleman who's burbling from the opposite backbenches, who construct...
I thank the Noble Lord. Is the Noble Lord accusing me of dishonesty?
Oh, on the contrary, accusing him of honesty. He's honest all the time. He wants to stop us leaving the EU. He's working night and day to stop it. That's what I said. And if he can deny that, I'll give way to him again. I know I don't want to impugn. It's dangerous to get into. It gets very emotive, and we don't. I know we don't want to get. But
the Noble Lord. I just listened to the Noble Lord, and I did think to myself, but isn't your objective that we should have a no-deal Brexit, and you're pretending that it's about the Constitution?
No.
It seems like an extraordinary accusation to make when you know that very well.
It's not. I'd be perfectly honest. If I had my way, we would have a no-deal Brexit. We would be out in a few days' time. We would have the certainty the country is crying out for. We would have businesses and companies getting on with the job they've been told was going to happen. We'd save ourselves £40 to £39 billion. It would be refreshing. We'd be on our way. No doubt about that at all. But how we get there is a different matter. And today we are talking about the difference between what I want and how you achieve it through the structures of Parliament. Yes, we are. If the Noble Lord doesn't understand that, he's been here longer than me, he understands nothing at all. In truth, as I said, it's all part of the same thing. And the House didn't like it last time I warned them of the damage we're going to do to ourselves if we're not careful. Some people think that by taking time to look at this today, we're somehow damaging our reputation. The people out there know what's going on. Most people either voted leave or now want to leave or want us to get on with it. They don't want any more protracted negotiations and discussions. They know today which side they're on in this House, and I would contend that there's a grave danger of too many members in this House not understanding what the people really want, and I believe in the long term that's a danger not just for this issue but for the House itself. I want to press on. I'll be accused of filibustering again in a minute, and that's the last thing. The last thing I want. We are, I think now, those of us who think like I do in terms of how we deal with our constitutional affairs and issues like this, and link that to the whole EU debate, I think there are relatively small numbers in this House, I believe, who speak for the people outside this House. I really do believe that, and I think that's why many of us feel we have to do what we do. Remind ourselves the Commons passed this bill by a majority of 1. Half the Commons did not want to do it. Surely we must look at it extremely carefully. It's our duty to do that. And I would echo the words of Lord Owen earlier on today, when he said, I think he said, if we use our structures, use our machinery to block what the people have voted for, he said, shame on us, shame on us. And I really do believe it will be shame on us and also have serious, serious repercussions for the future of your Lordship's House.